Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
And the budget will balance itself.
Do I have to sue CNN?
Legacy doesn't mean nothing. I'm gonna die and it's gonna be over.
Hey, it's Harjedius. So is India and Prime Minister Modi royally screwing over America by not agreeing to all of President Trump's trade terms and completely selling out its own people and becoming an obedient American vassal state? If you listen to the woke right, the answer is a clear yes. But let's look at some aspects of recent trade deals President Trump has made and see who's really getting screwed. Now, the South Koreans have agreed to invest $350 billion into U.S. projects selected by President Trump. This can include shipbuilding, chips, batteries, and to purchase $100 billion of U.S. energy products. This totals $450 billion in direct investments while still getting slapped with a 15% tariff. America wins and South Korea loses. Second up, we have Japan, which will invest a staggering $550 billion directed by the United States to either rebuild or expand core American industries. This includes revitalizing energy infrastructure like LNG and grid modernization, semiconductor manufacturing, critical mineral mining, commercial and defense shipbuilding, and more. Of course, despite paying for everything, the US will retain 90% of the profits, and for this great honor, Japan will be slapped across the face with ongoing 15% tariffs. America wins and Japan loses. Third up, we have the European Union, which has committed to earth-shaking investments in the US, which include $600 billion worth of investments and military hardware purchases, then another $750 billion of US natural gas and oil products, a total of $1.35 trillion of total investments, while still being slapped across the face with 15% tariffs on all its exports, with the sectoral tariffs on steel, aluminum, and copper of 50% staying in place. America wins and the EU loses. You may say many countries have taken advantage of America and accumulated trade deficits with the US to a great extent and for decades. This point of view is not completely unreasonable. However, this argument does not apply to India, so even on a moral basis, India owes America nothing. Why? Because as President Trump said, the US and India do very little trade together, and he's right. The trade between the two countries is only worth a paltry
$190 billion. $190 billion
isn't even enough for American politicians to buy ball wipes to wipe the sweat off their balls with. And the trade deficit in India's favor is only $45 billion, which is nothing compared to the top countries America trades with. So India has not economically taken advantage of America in any meaningful way. So let's address the undying controversy of India buying Russian oil. India buys about 35% of its oil from Russia, a significant amount, but not the majority of its oil. In fact, Financial Express reports India doubled its oil purchases from America in the first half of this year compared to the first half of last year by 50%, from 180,000 barrels per day to 271,000 barrels per day now. Any love for that? No. Also, take a look at the phenomenal cost savings Modi and India are being asked to give up. They pay a discounted price of between $50 to $65 a barrel, depending on when they buy, and they've done a lot of buying at below $60 a barrel, compared to America's cost of $67 to $70 a barrel, plus large freight costs. Just like money talks for Trump and America, the same is also true for other countries. India is also buying the Russian Su-37 over the American F-35 fighter jets. Again, there are very practical reasons for this. The Su-37 offers a superior agility, speed, and a longer range, which suits India's doctrine of air superiority. Critically, the Su-37 is cheaper up front, estimated at about $40 to $50 million per unit compared to the F-35's $80 to $100 million price tag, double the price. And Russia allows technology transfer and local production. Russian aircraft are also generally considered easier to maintain in rougher environments. However, the F-35 passes the Su-37 in stealth, networked warfare, and electronic warfare capabilities. It has advanced radar functions and better higher-end tech. That said, the F-35's maintenance is complex and expensive, requiring extensive logistics, infrastructure, digital support systems, and restricted software access, which India has historically resisted. In short, the Su-37 offers operational flexibility and sovereignty at lower cost, while the F-35 provides a light performance but at geopolitical premium. That geopolitical premium means that the US military maintains ultimate control over the operation and maintenance of its assault jets, which any sovereign country would want to avoid. So in short, it's time for the woke right to understand India has not economically exploited you no matter how stupid your past presidents were. Also, it doesn't owe you in any moral sense in having to pay up to become one of your loyal vassal states like Japan or the EU. President Trump is intelligent and is using the leverage of the American market on countries that depend upon it. For him, money talks and bullshit walks. Don't have a bitch fit just because there are other leaders who work the same way. Argidius out.